Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum and I'm visiting the Falkland Islands Defense Force today down in Port Stanley. And they were kind enough to put together this Hotchkiss model of 1886 quick-firing gun, a 3-pounder quick-firing gun for us to take a look at. Now, originally, there were two of these that were here in Stanley on East Falkland that were used for coastal defense from from prior to 1900 all the way through the end of World War II. There are now two of them here that are used for signaling purposes, basically for ceremonial guns firing blank charges. This is one of the signaling guns, and it's actually not one of the original ones that was in coastal defense use here. This gun and its sister gun came up here from Gibraltar a few decades ago, but they're the exact same pattern that were originally used here on the Falklands. And they're a cool example of an early quick-fire gun in a soft recoil mount, so I thought I'd show it to you. Now, a little bit of a primer to start with. It's a 3-pounder gun, which is equivalent to 47 millimeter. The British tended to identify their artillery by weight of projectile, and it's actually a little closer to like a 3.3-pound projectile, but fired out of a shell casing like this guy. This is actually one of the blank fire casings that they use for signaling. The British Navy purchased just under 3,000 of these guns in total. They were actually fairly common naval guns that then also saw use as coastal defense and eventually into signaling guns after World War II. So it's called quick firing because it is a breech-loaded gun using fully self-contained cartridges. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at how it works. Now, this gun has been repainted quite a lot. So the original crest here on the barrel is a bit faded, but you can see the V for Queen Victoria there. This particular example was manufactured in 1896. And of course, all of the working bits are located really right here. So we have a vertically traveling breech block. I drop it down like that, and we have an extractor/ejector here that is connected to the breech block. When it comes down, this slides backwards to kick the empty case out. So to load the thing, you take your shell with an actual projectile if you're doing it for real, slide it in there, lift the lever up, that's going to chamber it. Then the original trigger mechanism is just a literal hand trigger on a pistol grip back here. This one has been adapted to work with the shoulder rest here and sort of a more remote trigger. Grab that, that fires the round. And then when I pull this lever down, it's going to drop the breech block. The ejector is going to extract, ejector/extractor. It's going to bring the empty case out. We have this scoop-shaped brass attachment here because the gunner is going to be standing directly behind the gun. This catches the empty shell case and deflects it downward. Like that. Now, as for the soft mount, the gun is sat here with its trunnions locked into these two blocks. These are attached to hydraulic pistons here. So when this fires, the recoil is going to push it back. There are small holes that allow the hydraulic fluid to push through under a lot of resistance into the back end of the cylinder, slowing down the rearward travel of the gun. Then the whole thing reciprocates forward on springs. And the data plate here, recoil mounting, 3-pounder Hotchkiss gun is in nice shape on this. So that soft mount allows the gun to stay on target much more easily and reduces the load that the gun is putting into whatever it's mounted on. Now, originally, the front sight would have gone in here. It's a detachable front sight, so you take it off when the gun's not in use to protect it. But the front sight was just a vertical pointed peg that sat there. And the rear sight dropped into this dovetail slot in the back of the action. The shoulder stock assembly bolts on here. You don't have to have this to use the gun. You can maneuver and fire the gun using just the pistol grip, but this sort of makes an easier way for the gunner to stay back here right behind the sights, aim, maneuver the gun, while you have other crew members who are dealing with the loading and the ejecting process. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed getting a chance to take a look at this piece of cool, literal Victorian era weaponry. A big thanks to the Falkland Islands Defense Force for giving me the opportunity to film it for you guys and for putting it all together on its mount here for us. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.